Welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and we do have a new season that is quickly approaching. The season takes place at June 20th, which means tomorrow for you, my American friends. It's already June 20th for me, so for me, very last hours for the Sun in Cancer season. So we do have a Cancer season. Uh, So the sun is gonna go in Cancer at 10:42 p.m. 20th of June, and that is going to be month and a couple of days of a season, because on July 22nd at 9:29 a.m. the sun will enter in Leo. That is Eastern Standard Time though, and that's what we're gonna do tonight for this evening. Have a forecast for that Cancer season and see how the sun is going to affect us, is going to affect your star sign throughout that 1 month. Hello, Yasmin. Hello, News Devon. Welcome to the stream, girls. And so the first thing that I'm usually doing, that is the collective reading. I'm going to be brief on it, but you can read the post, the extensive interpretation of the tarot cards I drew for that season. And the first one that I drew, that is a 10 of Pentacles. I'm so glad I get to use those cards, and I think that I'm gonna keep up using them for for seasons, because they do represent the sun, or kind of like they are twinkling, like or having the vibe of the sun, so to speak. So 10 of Pentacles, first one. Hello, Taco, my mate. Welcome to the stream. Second one, that will be 7 of Cups. Yeah, they're awesome. It's a funny story with them though. And the third one, that is a King of Swords. You know what, mate? Tomorrow evening, I'm gonna make one for myself probably as well. Actually, me and my girlfriend, we are thinking of making mac and cheese. Let's see how this is gonna go. It's gonna be a first one for me. And who could have guessed, by the way, I turned out to be a really good cook. Because right now, that's my duty. And I thoroughly enjoy it. I never had to before. You know, I was just eating ordered food. But now I'm cooking, and things are turning out really well with my dishes, so to speak. Right. So the Cancer season will be a season of independence for all of us. This is going to be the season where we will repay our debts, where we are going to detach from really negative influences here and there that are trying to throw us in certain rails, that are trying to, you know, make us do things we don't want to, or simply they are influencing our job or our relationships. And by going for, or rather like establishing these independences, we are going to start becoming more and more comfortable and more in control, if you will, on our own assets, or the on the assets that we do have attached to. Therefore, we can dispose with to our wish and our will. And we can put those assets to work into accomplishing targets and goals and dreams, if you will, that up until this point was unthinkable of, because, you know, certain strings and certain prohibitions did not allow us to do so. But that is not going to be the case due to the Cancer season. Additionally to it, throughout the Cancer season, there are going to be old acquaintances that are coming our way, that are going to try to be a part of our lives, One more time now, whether we are going to decide to let them in or not, it is entirely up for you to decide. So this is another point of a choice. But it will be important to be acknowledged that these people learn their lessons. If there are any lessons, I'm sorry, I think I'm getting kind of a cold. There were any lessons that needed to be learned. So, for example, if we ended up on the wrong foot with them, then they completely understand what they did wrong and are determined not to do it again. So I think that is my personal opinion here. Is not within the cards, but for example, no, I'm not going to give that example, but if it won't hurt you, then probably you may want to give these people a second chance, because everybody deserves that. Unless you take lives. So another thing is that these detachments are going to annoy certain individuals which needs us to meet their own ends. And they will try to put the matters in such a way that without them, we, for example, we're nothing, or we will never going to be happy, we're never going to be successful. So it's important not to allow ourselves to be beguiled by such statements. And in that regard, this season is going to be a test of our self-confidence and as well belief. So those of us who doesn't believe in ourselves, then it's gonna suck. But hey, that sense of self-belief and not self-awareness but confidence, it could be quenched. So it doesn't need to be black or white kind of a situation. No, we may enter the season having very low self-belief and and determination to improve on our own. And as the season goes forward, that sense of self-confidence may improve, may grow, and may become indomitable by the end. So that is the collective reading. Now, a few notes about the show before I move forward. There are going to be 12 readings, just like this one for each star sign. So it will be important to listen to all three of yours, because the sign that you're born under is going to give you an idea what the season is going to present you with, like situations, people, for example, hopes and dreams, environment as well, and so on and so forth. Now, if you listen to the sign where your moon is falling on, because you may be, for example, Aries sun, Sagittarius moon, from the reading of your moon sign, you can extract how you're going to feel throughout the season, dealing with the stuff that the season presents you with, how you're going to feel about it. And finally, if you are listening to your rising sign, then that reading is going to give you an idea what is the best way to deal with stuff around. So listening to all three should paint a pretty good picture of you, for you, what kind of a season you are having ahead, more personalized. Of course, for a personal reading, you can go to my website, which link you can find in the description down below. And if you enjoyed the show, to support it, you just have to subscribe for the channel if you haven't already. Leave a like, comment on the video as well if you feel so. Either of these actions are going to help with the algorithm. And if you decide to support it financially, you can do so as well through Super Chat or a PayPal. The PayPal link you're going to find in the description down below. And anyone who does so, you guys are going to have personalized reading at the end of the stream. If no particular inquiry with your donation is given, then the reading is going to be what kind of a season you will personally going to have, accompanied with the most important event out there. that is going to happen to you throughout the season. Just like Yasmin did. Yasmin, thank you for the 20 US dollars. Thank you, Yasmin. And as well, Taco mate, thank you for the $22.22. Thank you. And News Devon, thank you for the £5. Thank you, News Devon. Let me put you guys and girls into my list here of patrons. And at the end of the stream, you're going to have your personalized readings. All right. Okay. So first star sign, that will be Aries. You can keep up with what star sign I am reading for through the glyph being right there. It's displayed right there. Well, I'm glad that you're here too, Yasmin. Well, my cooking isn't about creativity. I am just following recipes. Okay, so it works really well. Kind of surprised because the first recipe I tried, it was for ice cream, and it worked from, I don't know, 5th or the 6th try. So I wasn't quite confident that I'll be able to pull it through, but all right, first one for Aries, that will be 8 of Pentacles. Page of Wands, it is the next one. Ace of Cups, it is the third one. Yeah, I mean, like with everything, you know, just there are people who have the knack for it. And to be honest, I can't be a good cook with creativity because I don't like garlic, I don't like onion, I don't like many things. I don't like fat meat as well. Like, you know, some people like a pork neck steak, all right, where it's fatty, it's juicy. I don't like that. For me, filet mignon, please. Okay, I want a meat with no white on it, not a single spot of white on it. That's my meat. So I can't be a good cook because I just don't eat everything. I don't eat hot either. As soon as I taste something hot, I am done with the meal. Salty as well. I don't like salty at all. So yeah, things wouldn't work well if I am your cook on creativity. All right, back to Aries. This season will revive some plans for you, my guys. Some plans that had been buried, it had been abandoned for a lack of for a lack of better expression here, of a inability. There were details about those plans that couldn't be accomplished a few months ago or maybe a year ago, but now those details are going to be brought to bear. They will finally can be attended to, they can finally be accomplished, and those plans can finally manifest. You may thought of buying a place for yourself, but there were some details about the places you saw or about the funding that couldn't be accomplished, but now those details, alas, are to be accomplished, and you can initiate that plan of buying your own place. That is just for example. You could have a plan for a business, but maybe it wasn't the time for that kind of a business. Now is going to be the time if that was your plan. And another thing for you Aries is that for you single Aries is, you know, that doesn't have an intimate partner. This season is going to be very important for you to step into the world and to show that you are ready to receive a love. Okay, that like and I'm sorry for my expression here, but you need to step out and show that you are on the market. You are for quote unquote sale. And there are going to be a lot of people offering, right? There are going to be a lot of people offering you, for example, luxury life or a very emotional life. Depending on what you are seeking here, there is going to be one for everything. And based on your preferences, you get to choose. But this isn't going to work out, because of a faith. It's going to work out because you step into it and you show that you are, well, to the world, if you will. You display that you're single, you're ready to make connection, and from there things are gonna take off and kick in rather slowly but very, very consistently here. uh Oh, last thing I want to say here for Aries, it is that the negative side, or rather like the unpleasant side of this season, is going to be human interactions. People are going to be more touchy than usual, so there may be some things you say that feel very normal to you to say, but they may be taken as an insult. So you have to be very careful how you speak with people that matter to you. It's just a un unpleasant perk from the season. All right, so that was the Aries season. Now, the Aries for Cancer season. Now, Taurus. Let's see how Taurus are gonna fare going into the Cancer season. Let me shuffle. The Hierophant. Next one is going to be Three of Pentacles, and the final one is going to be the Star. Oof. That's going to be quite of a bump. I don't know even how to deliver that, because when people hear it, it's, right. Well, I'm gonna say it regardless, because that's what I do here. I'm telling you things just as the cards are showing them, so there is no point sugarcoating anything. You are gonna end up being mentored throughout the season, whether through some kind of a team, whether through an individual person, but basically through that mentorship, you're start going to build up a lot of trust and confidence and a sense of reliability into the important people around you. And people are going to see you that you are a very, I don't know the English word for that. It's like they're going to see you that for you, that what matters is doing the job well rather than taking the money for it at the end. Okay, and this is going to be the reason why you're going to build up a lot of confidence into your boss, for example, or into your colleagues. And that mentorship doesn't has to be anything physical, if you will. It's just that could be you may take someone for an example, and without that person even knowing, could be your mentor. Additionally to it, there is going to be a lot of support coming your way from your colleagues, friends, family members as well. Support that you can use to invest in your development. Now, this is going to be a physical interaction, like a fruitful cooperations about one task or another, very fruitful discussions as well about what is best to be done here and there. It could be also a financial support that will just gonna help you grow. Now, the unpleasant path, uh, it touches on your hopes and dreams, and at least according to these cards, that season is going to burst your bubble. I don't know how, but probably is going to be through an individual means, very individualized, I'm sorry, means that you will understand that certain ideals you hold, certain dreams are just, foolish, unrealistic, and they just don't serve anything, and they're not going to play in any positive way for you. So there are going to be burst bubbles, that most definitely, but this act will put you back on track with the real target, where you can definitely hit the mark and just ground yourself and be quite successful into what you're doing. Okay, next one, that will be Gemini. King of Pentacles, Four of Swords, Three of Pentacles. Now, this season is going to bring a bit of sense of emergency for you, and the reason for that is going to be because certain aspects in your life, like certain projects or certain relationships, are going to call for a conclusion. It's like there are going to be things that you will need to wrap up right now in this very moment in the next 30 or so days, but also you are going to face a full cooperation and, as with the Taurus, a full support from the people involved. So if you have something to wrap around in your family, then you're going to face a full support from your family. If you have something to conclude at work, you're going to face full support from your boss, your clients, the people that you're working with. But there are going to be definitely some loose ends that you will need to tie up within the next 31 days, because after this season ends, there are going to be some new ventures, there are going to be some new perspectives that you need to take on, and they're going to be far richer than those that you are currently running right now. So you are off for a quite of an improvement, quite of a leap in development, but before you are ready to take on that leap, you need to finish up what it is already started right now. Okay, so it's about hard work for you, Gemini, in these 30 or so days, but it's gonna pay off big time afterwards. One very specific case that may not happen to every single one of you, but this season you may end up being approached by someone, it could be also organization, that will have the mind to invest in you, invest in your business idea, invest in your place, okay, or simply invest in you in a certain way. And what you need to know is that this isn't a charity, although the gains that they're gonna get, they will not gonna get straight away from you. So it's a win-win kind of a interaction for you and for that entity. Okay, next, that will be Cancer. Taco, I don't know what star sign rules my body. I have no idea how to determine that. Maybe it's a house. I'm not an astrologer. Again, Three of Pentacles. A lot of collaboration in this season. The Hermit. The Hierophant, I'm sorry, not the Hermit, but the Hierophant is the next one. And the third one, that is going to be Eight of Wands. Oh, okay. So for you, Cancer, a lot of people are going to trust you. They're going to trust that your ideas are going to be productive. They're going to trust, for example, that your work is going to be complete. This is going to be the season of many relying on you to do the job, relying on you to keep your promise, right? In generally relying on you to drive the whole thing forward, which is going to put on your shoulders a quite of a sense of urgency and quite of a pressure not to make a wrong move and wrong step, which there is going to be a danger of you doing. So your game here in that 30 days, it is whenever you are to take a choice, first thing you need to do is calculate the risk and consult yourself with the best thing you can do is consult yourself with people who already did that, for example, working in that field or already had that kind of a challenge in front of themselves. I'm sorry. Bottom line is that you need to face the options you have with a clear-headed mind, so you can choose the one that carries a least unpleasant and negative consequences possible, which there are going to be such options. And if you don't see them right away, that is because your mind isn't cleared for them yet. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people are going to looking at you, hoping that you will be their savior, that you are going to be, yeah, their salvation. Okay. Leo next, but before I jump into it, just to remind you guys that anyone who supports the channel through Super Chat or a PayPal, you guys are going to have a reading at the end of the stream that is guaranteed, which is going to be a personalized one. Okay, first one for Leo, Ace of Cups, followed by the Chariot, and then the third one that is going to be Five of Cups. This is going to be very emotional season for you, Leo, and it does relate to some kind of most likely severance. It's a general reading. I can't vouch that for every single one of you is going to be about severance, but for many of you is, because it does involve you doing everything by yourself, not having anyone to rely on, not having anyone to follow, not having anyone to do it for. So to me, that speaks for something either very personal or that's you don't have anyone around to connect with about that wishful goal, because wishful goal is what we do have at hand here as a goal for the season for you. And this state was reached by a conscious decision you have done recently, that at some point you have feared that that was a wrong choice, but now in this season, the more and more the circumstances are going to prove to you that you actually did the right thing. Okay, for example, if you chose to leave your job because you saw that things aren't going very well there and you aren't getting what you think you deserve, you aren't accomplishing anything you wish to accomplish in your career path, and you left your job, a few days after you may have the feelings of regret, so to speak, that you did that. But moving into the season, the more and more the circumstances are going to prove to you that that was the right move. Okay, and that was just an example that I gave. But bottom line here is that you are going to be on a path of improving drastically your day-to-day routine and transforming it into a something that you are going to freaking love it once the season is approaching near its end. So by July 22nd, you would love your day. Are you just gonna wake up at the morning content to go through your day and loving everything that is going on in it? And you will accomplish that by yourself, so you will not gonna own anything to anyone, and that is gonna make you very, very proud. And I said that this is about a wishful results because this is why your day is going to be so emotionally fulfilled, because by the end of the season you are going to find yourself beating the odds. At the start of the season is going to be feeling like the odds are stacked against you and there is no triumph at hand, but by the end of the season you are going to be on the verge of that triumph, beating the odds, feeling very proud of yourself, having no need of anyone, which may be to a certain detriment, but alas, that's going to be the feeling, and having the results you wish in one or another department in the tip of your palm, and they're yours to, you know, capitalize on. Okay, next one, that will be Virgo. Oh, Ace of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, Knight of Cups. This is going to be the season for you, Virgo, of a very lucrative business deals, business maneuvers, jobs, anything that relates to your monetary status, and simultaneously a season of a very, very harmonious relationships. So that's going to be a season of content, exhilaration, productiveness, and also glee. Now, mind you, if that's a season that you find something like find a job, find someone to date with, find a place to live, and so on and so forth, at least according to these cards, that is it. That is the person, or that is the job, that is the home with a capital letters. And all that because you worked for it. So you may feel grateful, okay, to the Lord or whatever you believe in, but at least according to my tarot, this is a result of your efforts, not because it was gift to you. So a bit of piety is okay, but at the end of the day, you also should be very proud of yourself. So basically, that's a season where there is nothing stopping you of a fulfilling the dreams of your heart. It's just long story short here, and make a very huge leaps in development moving forward, either career-wise, either relationship-wise, for some of you, maybe even in all departments, okay? But there is going to be that state where you're going to have the rare opportunity to manifest it and you need to seize it. Waiting around with your legs crossed or your arms crossed, sitting on your couch at home, hoping that, you know, things are going to miraculously push themselves forward on their own core. This isn't working out like that, okay? The results at the end are going to be measured proportionally to your efforts. There is no finger of fate involved, at least according to my cards, in your season here. So hard work manifests these monetary gains and these that harmony that you can establish in your relationships. Okay, next, that would be Libra. Three of Swords for Libra. Nine of Wands. Four of Cups. All right. This is going to be a season that affects two departments for you. One of the departments is to right a wrong. The other department is improving your day-to-day routine in a way that becomes more comfortable to you. There is a third department, but it's not going to happen to all of you, Libra, and that is finding the perfect match. Emphasizing romantically. Now, depending on the department that this season manifests for you, one of these things is going to happen. You righting the wrong, if that's the way that the sun is going to affect you, it will feel very difficult. In a sense of like, you are almost unable to do it, and this is going to be just a feel, right? Like whenever you are about to do some kind of a move or you're about to make some kind of decision, you will instantly going to have that what was it, a kind of like defensive mechanism activating. What if I am doing the thing wrongly? All right, and it's always gonna feel like you are thinking the worst that might happen, and that will put some actions or may put some actions you are planning to exert on how, and so on and so forth. And it's going to be a mental struggle, if you know what I mean. Or even it may come to your mind that your efforts are pointless, that nothing is going to come out of it, you will make no difference, and so on and so forth. And these are just only thoughts, which you should not allow to twist and tangle in your mind, making you feel lost, right? Now, the second manifestation, which is improving your day-to-day routine, if that is how the season manifests for you, then you are going to be chastised for it. How dare you, right? How dare you improve your life and do something for yourself instead of, doing something for me, are what the other around you are going to think of. How dare you doing your job instead of wasting your time or putting your time into doing your colleague's job, right? How dare you? Or how dare you having fun at your home instead of contributing for your neighbor's well-being, for example? Or how dare you having fun instead of sitting and dwelling in the depression of, I don't know, maybe your spouse or maybe someone from your family, and so on and so. How dare you being happier than me? This is what the rest are going to think, and we'll try to chastise you for it. Don't cave into that. And finally, if that's about making, you know, and finding the perfect match for you, like meeting someone and you find that you do have a lot in common, you just get along very well, then it's going to kick in the fear, what if things doesn't work out? In either way, okay, in all of the three manifestations of that season for you, you should not allow the thought of failure to petrify you, to ossify you moving forward. Instead, you should just kind of like abolish these negative thoughts and do things anyway. All right, next one, that will be Scorpio. Oops. Two of Swords, Two of Pentacles, Strength. That's that looks very promising. For Scorpio, this season is going to be somewhat of a payoff, but not in material way, not in a material way. At least, even if it is in a material way, this isn't going to be the important part of the payoff. So this season is going to be all about an enterprise that it isn't paying off by that point. Okay, you throw a very good effort in, nothing comes out of it, at least not for now. And this season is going to, these 30 days are going to prove to you that actually this was with a delayed impact, if I may put it that way. Like, take it that way, that you have worked for your name and now your name is going to start working for you. That is just an example, of course, but bottom line is that throughout the season, you are going to start realizing what else needs to be added into it, or we are going to start realizing, because I am also Scorpio sun here. We're going to have an answer, not exactly what is missing, but what needs to add on top of it. And that way, by the end of the season, we're going to have a pretty good idea where we are heading with, for example, our date, where we are heading with our career choice, where we are heading with, I don't know, our hobbies and so on and so forth. And we're going to be very enthusiastic about it. Not just because, you know, we know that we're going to know that it wasn't in vain after all, and everything is going to pay off at the end, but also this sense of security is going to bring a lot of equilibrium into our lives, and these states where, you know, being not that successful as you wish at work affecting your love life, like, you know, you're constantly aggravated, depressed because you aren't getting any progress at work and so on and so forth, will be no more. And your job is not going to interfere with your love life is not going to interfere with your friends ain't going to interfere with your job, and vice versa. Okay, everything in your life is going to be tidy and set and quite quite on its place, where it isn't interfering with any other field. And we are going to have a very, very balanced life, full of enthusiasm, passion, and set goals that we are going to follow. Okay, so that was Scorpio. Just to remind you guys, Anyone who supports the channel through Super Chat or PayPal, which link you can find in the description down below, are going to have a reading at the end of the stream, which is going to be a personalized one for the season. That is from June 20th to July 22nd. Now, Sagittarius. 10 of Cups, the Star, and the third one is going to be the Sun. I think the best word that I can use is unassuming season. A season where you are going to be quite emotionally fulfilled, just having enough. I think that many of you are just going to draw a line and say, you know what? These are days where I'm just going to take a break. I am just not going to worry about the damn thing around. Because at least according to these cards, while there is unlikely to have growth anywhere, it is also highly unlikely that you're going to face any major issues, if any issues at all. According to these cards, if there are any problems about the project you and your team are working on and so on and so forth, they are going to pass by you and they will not going to affect you personally. And so throughout these 30 or so days, you are gonna have a pretty peaceful experiences, not just only peaceful but also emotionally fulfilling, because as you are going to settle at the start of the season, for you this is gonna feel enough of a progress for now, enough of a status for now, okay, and enough of a struggle also for now. That doesn't mean that you're gonna stop forever. This is just take it as a days of respite and recuperation that's are going to be bestowed upon you. This for you Sagittarius, these aren't good days of repairing broken friendships or mending lost relationships. There will be days for that, but these are not within these 30 days, at least according to my cards. Just go with the flow and enjoy every single minute and every single hour presented to you, and just go on a whim. All right, next one, that will be Capricorn. Two of Swords, Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles. That is so weird. It's This season you are going to have an unexpected help. Um, Under unexpected, I mean from the person or the place you least expect that that help is gonna come about. And it will level the field, at least for you. And it will make uh, the um, the game fair, if I may put it that way. Alternatively, this season as well, you will get some answers to conundrums that you can't put your finger on right now. You may have some kind of really amazing idea, but its appliance could be quite of a conundrum, and you may not know at least that point how exactly you're going to pull it through. Uh, and when I say you don't know, I mean you can't fathom how exactly you're going to pull it through. That season will offer answers how you can pull it through, but it will involve a lot of investment. So I don't know if any of you are gonna determine that that is something that it was worth it. So that's a season of answers about the things that is not worth keeping up with, the relationships doesn't worth keeping up with, the projects that doesn't worth keeping up with, and so on and so forth. But the helpful part, like I said, about that Capricorn, or about this season Capricorn for you, is going to be that unexpected help coming your way. And one very, how can I put it into words, healing aspect of your season is going to be a purge of a social circle. What I mean is that you are going to figure out which are the people that are labeling themselves your friends actually aren't your friends, and are just using you for their own ends and for their own means, and so on and so forth. And once you figure out who those people are, because it will become pretty obvious, it will become a eye gouging, that that is someone who doesn't care whether you cry or whether you laugh. All that they care is when they ask you, for example, for money, you have some money to give, or when they ask you to watch to babysit their children while they are going out partying, you're always going to say yes. So these are users. It's what we call them here in Bulgaria, right? Just users. And you will identify all these people and just will have that affinity to cut ties with them for good, like make a clean severance with them. All right, next one, that will be Aquarius. It was a very, it will be a bit of a weird season for you, Capricorn, at least according to my cards. Okay, so Aquarius next. Queen of Swords, Five of Wands, Three of Wands. Very strong one for Aquarius. Very strong season for Aquarius. Because I'm rising Aquarius here, that is going to be a season where we are going to just enforce ourselves, if I can put it that way. That's going to be the season where we will definitely going to be able to push our things through. In fact, we are going to feel ourselves so capable and so strong that we're going to look for another challenge, another big project, just to top off our performance, our work, our accomplishment by that point. And throughout the whole season, throughout these 30 or so days, we're always going to be well informed. The information is going to be in abundance, and we will be able to always do the right moves. Not to mention that throughout this is going to be also a season for reversals. What I mean is that we can reverse failures into a very successful enterprises, a failed project into very successful project, failed relationships into a very successful relationships, I don't know, failed friendships as well, failed purchases, and so on and so forth. But in order to do that, we need to be opportunists. Only the opportunists, Aquariuses, will be able to make that around turns with their life and you know, with their hopes and dreams as well. But the main game for us is that we are going to be forewarned. And because we're going to be forewarned about the upcoming events, about the upcoming enterprises, we're always going to have that expectation. About how things are going to play out. We're going to take matters accordingly. We are all these future events are going to be accounted for, and therefore there won't be any surprises. If there are surprises, we are going to be that surprise, and all of our expectations fulfilled, and that is going to make us feel confident and ready to take, like I said at the start of Aquarius, a new challenges ahead. Better deals, bigger projects, better jobs, and so on. All right, and the last star sign, that will be Pisces, but not least one. Two of Cups, Knight of Cups, Five of Wands. The season of love for you, Pisces. Now, this is a very specific case. I hope it happens to as many of you as possible. But that is going to be the season where it's going to happen that for someone around you, you are everything they have ever wanted. Simple as that. And that person is willing to do what it takes in order to get to you, but in return, they need to see the same thing through you. Like you are also willing to do whatever it takes to be with them or to be together. The only drawback of these people is that they talk big. What I mean is that they may claim certain things that they will do or they will accomplish that may not come to bear. And let me make myself clear here. This isn't because they're lying, all right? They really have that intention. They may tell you that they want to give you the world, and they really mean that. But the thing is that they're not that far ahead with their development in order to do so right now. But if they can do it, they will do it. All right? So they may give you some promises which there is no merit to, at least not at that point in their lives. And if you believe to the letter at those promises, you may end up very, very disappointed. So take everything with the grain of salt that they are telling you, that anyone tells you throughout that season. Now, other than that, there will be a lot of peace, or rather like a lot of calmness in the interactions you are going to be a part of. Everyone at work is going to mind their own business. That is not to say that you will not going to have any help, only if you ask for it though. right? No one is gonna meddle with your affairs or intermingle theirs with yours. And same thing, it's about your social circle. Same thing is in effect about your love life. But in order to maintain really good relationships, that is going to be a season where the pride, the ego, the shyness, also sitting on a high horse, looking down on people, needs to be put on a shelf. People need to take themselves equal to one another, even if there is a social hierarchy to it, like your boss and you, or if you are a boss and with your subordinate, and everyone that way, because it's important that everyone works together. With the Two of Cups, I'm so glad I have that deck here. Oh, hold on. With the Two of Cups, as you can see, the two people reaching toward one another. It doesn't work if only one reaches to the another. Both need to reach toward each other, and only then something else, with that lion head and wings and so forth, it's formed. And that's why it will be important that your love interest see that you are willing to do whatever it takes as they are willing to do so. Otherwise, it wouldn't work moving forward. Uh, as far as it goes to the calmness and the peace for you, Pisces, the way how you can screw it up and make your day-to-day routine and experiences very stressful is by being unpredictable and making surprising moves when they are needed. Then you are going to throw off its feet the whole environment, and it's just everybody is going to be very uneasy with you, and they're going to throw you off as well. It's just going to throw you off your balance. So that was for Pisces. And now the super chat is going to be conducted. So everyone who supported or is about to support the stream through super chat or through PayPal, which link you can find in the description down below, is going to have a reading, personalized reading right now. So first one, that's going to be Yasmin. Let me get my cards for personal readings. All right, Yasmin, let's have a draw. That's quite surprising. Let me put my camera on. All right, so those are your tarot cards. Okay, and this is going to be a very pleasant season for what those cards are displaying. A season in which any job you do, any chores you have to oversee and you have to attend to, every person that you deal with is going to bring pleasure and emotional satisfaction, for lack of a better word. I know that you are in a relationship, But people that doesn't have relationships with these cards, they constantly meet others that fit emotionally and physically as well. I'm just saying, okay? Because you're not gonna have people that fit emotionally and physically, you know, kind of like liking them, but they will fit on other departments, like fit doing deals with, fit talking to, and so on and so forth. And these pleasantries, okay, that these states, these projects that you enjoy being a part of, these teams that you enjoy being a part of, these people that you enjoy talking to or doing enterprises with, and so on and so forth, they can stay longer than just that season. You can transform that short-term happiness into a very, very long-lasting one, and all that is going to be thanks to your own personal efforts. But the best thing this season for you, Yasmin, is going to be because you are going to triumph against odds, and that is going to bring even more fulfillment and a more excitement and more happiness into your life. I'd say that the start of your reading, that is quite surprising, because your most important event, it is that there is going to be someone that is going to try to sabotage your success. Hopefully they ain't going to be able to, because what the Lenormand cards are showing, it is just that they are going to try to sabotage it on many fronts. So that isn't just a person who is involved in one of your enterprises, that is a person who is involved in at least few of them. Okay? And when they start trying to sabotage your success, then you will realize who that one is. Hopefully you will have cure for it. Hopefully you're going to be able to negate and completely incapacitate their influence over you and over your deeds moving forward. Okay, next one, Taco. Let me see if you have a particular inquiry here. Uh, no, you don't. All right, so that is reading for your season. You're welcome, Yasmin. Yeah, we're gonna see about that, Taco. Those are the cards for you, mate. The Lenormand cards. Those are your tarot cards. So this is the season of love for you. A season where you will make small but a long-lasting improvements in your love life. I know you have a wife, so things are going to improve for good with in between you and her. And this season is going to be for you season of comfort, renewed hope, and very well decisions made, by the way, decisions that everyone is accounted to, like decision about, for example, your relationship, where you account your wife's wishes, or decision about some kind of family matters where you account family members. and so on and so forth. But through these alignments, for lack of better expression, and improvements as well, couple of things are going to take place. Sorry. I think I'm getting cold. Uh, First one, which is the more important one, is that some limits, some self-imposed limits, some self-imposed restrictions are going to be abolished. And that is because you're going to find out that these restrictions you have bestowed are the reason why you can't make that improvement on your love department. And the second thing that is going to take place, it is when your love life starts improving, then you are going to feel less and less attached to anything exterior, and that is going to make you feel more and more comfortable. It's going to make you feel more and more prepared for the future, and is going to transcend your day-to-day routine into something you're going to freaking love being a part of. And finally, throughout the season, there is going to be a big plan made, right? A plan that refers to the distant future, maybe a plan for the next couple of years, maybe a plan for the next 10 years, but a very solid plan that gives purpose, that gives reason, and that makes your life even more worth living from there on moving forward. So that is how the season is going to play out for you. And next, News Devon, I need to use the Lenormand for that question. So what is coming your way in the duration of the season? Let's check it out. Those are your cards. This is the only thing that makes sense about those cards is a family gathering involving inheritance, or you becoming a part of one. Another version is to travel to your family and having a family gathering, having a family meeting, which is going to be organized by your elders, like your father, mother, if they're amongst us, your grandmother, grandfather, if they're amongst us, or anyone that considers being an elder in your family. Let me draw one more. I think it's the inheritance one. Okay. So that's what's coming your way in this season. And mind you, this is going to be just an invitation. You may decide not to go, not to participate, not to take a part of. So that doesn't mean that, you know, this meeting is cast in stone. You may decide not to participate into it. All right. So that's gonna do it for tonight. Um, I hope you enjoyed it, guys, and I hope that every single one of you have an amazing season ahead of them. I hope that you do make the most out of it. I hope that you become very productive. I hope that you do become very successful in it. If you are looking for love, find love. Uh, if you're looking for a good job, find a good job. If you're looking for a place, I hope you find the best place that there is for you. And we're going to hopefully see each other Sunday, where the topic of the stream is going to be. Uh, Hold on a second. New moon, I think we have, yes, new moon in Cancer. So with that being said, guys, I wish you good night, and we're going to see each other in a couple of days. Until then, bye.